Danny, obviously disappointing to lose the game. What were your thoughts on the match overall?
Yeah, always disappointing to lose any game of football. So it is, and to lose your first one, you know, it's bitterly disappointing. But what I can say, you know, in terms of, I thought our application, I thought our energy was good throughout the game. And coming to Arbroath is never the easiest places to come. You know, they're a hard-working team that you have to earn the right to go and play to your strengths, and they know how to play this up here very, very well. I thought in the first half that we looked more lightly. I thought, you know, we had a good set-up without the ball, and I thought we looked very, very dangerous, you know, in attack when we broke at pace and quickly. And we actually get the best opportunity the first half through Ewan, and just a little bit more composure. He just puts I love the way that he tried to finish, just gets a little bit too much on it. So he does. And then we go into the second half, and the game again is very much in the balance, and we'll lose possession in the middle of the pitch. You're looking at that organisation, the balance behind it. And I look at it was probably the one and only time that they get in behind us and they make it count. And that's the difference, that when you get into these areas, you've got to make them count. And that's the, you know, that's what the championship's all about. It's very hard, and it's, you know, unforgiving. So what I took out of the after conceding the goal was that you look for that bit of character in your group, and we got it in abundance, and that pleased me so much, so it did. So between the two sessions that I've had with this group of players, and between what I've seen in 90 plus minutes the other day, there is very many positives, you know, in terms of the energy that they bring, the ability within the group, you know, and the characters of them, because they absolutely give absolutely everything in trying to break down a very, very organised Arbroath organisation.
Does the fact that we have to miss out next week have its pros and cons, I guess?
Yeah.
You want to get that game as quickly as you can, but you've got now a bit more time to work with them?
Yeah, I think, you know, in terms that you want to try and, when you come off your bike, you want to try and get on it as quickly as you possibly can again. But that's the negative side of things. There's a couple of positives ones on that as well. It actually buys us a little bit of time for one or two key players coming back from injury. You know, in certain areas you're still trying to put a wee bit of, you know, square pegs in round holes at the minute. And these guys are going and doing their utmost. So they are. And what it also does, you know, it gives me a great opportunity to do a lot of work, you know, on the training ground with them, and continue to try and implement, you know, my own ideas and thoughts. And I thought they'd done that exceptionally well, you know, what we'd asked at the back, etc. But what they've got to remember also is they're good football, you know, good football players. You know, they've got to learn that in that final third, in that middle to final third, that they've got to go and play the way that they have, you know, and not forget about that. Because that's when I find them at their most dangerous. You know, you get Henderson, you get Mockery, you get them running at people, you know, wee Strav, trying to get into that penalty box. I thought there was some big pluses. I thought Charlie Telfer for coming back was outstanding throughout. I thought Craig Ross at right back. He had a very, very good 90 minutes. I look at Cole McKinnon when I come on, he looked a real positive, real hunger about him. And again, another positive is getting Strappy through 90 minutes, which was fantastic. So there was a lot of pleasing stuff in the game, but that's always a hard sell, that when you've lost the game 1-0, and I'm disappointed for the travelling supporters, but as I said there's a lot to take away for what I've took away from the game, and the group of players getting to know what they're all about and the type of character. And if you've got that, I can work with that every day of the week. So
a lot to work on, but a lot to work with, you think, as well?
There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. You know, there's a great backroom staff. You know, there's a club there with a proud history. And I don't think in the championship there's a great deal to fear. You know, it's, as I said, it's very unforgiving. That when you do go down, it's hard to go there and get yourself back into games. And that's why it's so important that when you do create clear, good opportunities, you know, you've got to be ruthless with it.
Well, we'll get back down the road. Danny, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, gents.
Charlie, I guess not the ideal second debut. What are your thoughts on the game?
I didn't think there was much in it, to be honest. I think they've Torrey obviously scores, and we've got a chance in the first half with Hendo where he does well to go up in a pass, but just hasn't managed to put it on target. And then he does well again there to flash one across where we probably need to be on the end of it. But yeah, we're just saying in there it's one of those games where we need to just come away with a point minimum, so we're disappointed.
It did kind of feel like one of those games that maybe one goal would win at one mistake or one good moment, and it just was maybe undone a wee bit by their goal in a way that must really frustrate you.
Yeah, I think we've worked a lot in the last couple of days about being more compact and more disciplined without the ball and not being as open, but I think we also forgot to, or we're too focused on that when we have the ball. We're a good side, you know. Reece has done really well in the last 3-4 seasons to develop a style of play that the gaffers really emphasise that we need to continue doing that. So yeah, I think disappointed with that side of it, but you know, on another day we could have got a point or even won the game.
And I suppose going the other end of the pitch, we just didn't really create that much, didn't really give their keeper enough of a test. No, definitely not. I can't really think of any saves that he had to make, to be honest. So yeah, that's one thing that we're disappointed about. But you know, we're just starting under Danny, so we just need to keep our heads up. It's only the 4th game of the season. You know, there's so much games to be played. So yeah, just need to stay positive, and hopefully we can start picking up some results. On a personal note then, that's your 81st appearance for
81,
Airdrie.
is it?
Yeah, a bit of a gap between 80 and 81, but never mind.
Yeah.
How much are you enjoying being back?
Yeah, no, I loved it today. It's just nice to... I didn't expect to maybe start, having just signed during the week, but I was happy to play and thought I did okay. Obviously just want to try and impact the game as much as possible when I'm on. So yeah, disappointing the result, but delighted to be back, and hopefully we can try and, as I say, pick up some results and make it a successful season.
No game next week due to the postponement with the St Johnstone match, so some time on the training pitch to try and get things going. Yeah, definitely. As I said, the manager's only had a couple of days to work with us, so it's quite a lot of information to give us over the day, and I think for large parts of the day we got it right, and we changed within the game. We pressed a certain way, then we moved to another way, and I think we kind of worked it out. The difficulties we were having, we got through them, but you know, it's just those fine margins with the goal that's really disappointing. So yeah, we've got, what is it, 10, I don't know, 2 weeks till the next, is that what you said? Yeah, it's no game next week, and then it's the Friday night. Yeah, so just over 2 weeks to try and work on loads of stuff, but I'm sure we're getting in the right direction, and we're all behind Danny, so we're just looking forward to getting back on Monday and working towards that game. Never fun to do these after defeats and games like that, so thanks very much, Charlie. Thank you. No, sorry. Cheers.